Hello, welcome back to my stream. So, it has been a few days since I last streamed. I apologize for that because real world stuff primarily relating to work. You saw the my posts in the community section, whatever it's called. Yeah, it's because I did overtime at my workplace. Just a bit of a bummer, but bright side, I get a bit more money. But it does mean that by the time I get home, it's pretty much I pretty much don't have time to stream. It's not that I don't have time, it's that I'm too tired because, you know, 10-hour shifts are killer. I'm not used to them anymore. I used to work at Amazon. They had 10-hour shifts, but that was years ago, and I left that place a long time ago. Yeah. So, anyways, I'm back to work today on this project. And so what I'm going to do today is I'm going to update that animation for the player that opens doors. And you can see here I still have the old naming system for the animations because I only did the animation renaming stuff in the Godot engine. I still have the old stuff here, and I'm not gonna I'm not gonna go through these and rename them. No way I'm gonna do that. It's just gonna take too long. But I will find the animations for opening the door, and I will try and make better versions of that. You see, I have to scroll. I have to I have to search for the animation because it's not intuitive. Okay, so here's one of them. Okay, so this is just for when there's like a. I guess this is just for when there's an automatic door. All right, that's clear enough the one I want to do. Okay. So in this one, the player is grabbing the doorknob with his right hand and pulling. I think he's. Okay, so he's pushing the door. And he's supposed to be. Yeah. So I think I want to make it so that he pulls the door and then enters through, but I need a. All right. But this means that I need to make the. Well, I don't need to, but it would be easier if I was to have a mesh that represented the door. Oh, yeah, like this one, I think. It's in the wrong, only thing is it's in the wrong position. All right. By the way, I may have some decent advice for creating like character animations. Um, so the origin of the character or the 0, 0 position should not be his feet. Should be around somewhere in the middle of his body. For my character, it's like his hips area. As close to the middle of the character as possible. I originally had the animation set up so that the his feet were the origin was like around his feet, and it worked in the technical sense, but I ran into issues with the lighting system, as strange as it sounds. So the way that lighting is calculated in the Godot engine for like real time stuff, it uses the 0, 0 origin as the What's the word? I'm not sure what the word is. Don't you hate when you forget words? Oh yeah, the position that it uses to make the calculations is whatever happens to be the origin of the mesh. So if it's taking lighting calculations, or if it's calculating the lighting of an object using the using your feet, well, sometimes that part of the mesh goes inside the ground, or it's like right next to the ground. So the character would be like flashing between like black and kind of dark. He would just be really really dark because like the lighting system thought he was inside the ground, but he wasn't. But yeah, but when I changed the mesh so that it was like calculated using the center, the lighting system understood more accurately where the character was in relation to other object in relation to the static lit objects in the scene, which is more in line with what you want. Well, what you probably want. Okay, so anyways. Okay. So before I get to work on, well, reworking the door animation, I want to actually have like a door that kind of, this isn't going to actually be imported. This door isn't going to be imported into the engine. It's mostly just there to help me visualize where things should be in relation to each other. Okay, so the door is about 2 meters tall. Well, it's exactly 2 meters tall, the engine. I don't know. No, it's a little bit taller. It's a little bit taller. Okay. Hmm. This is way off center. Please excuse me while I try my best to get things somewhat centered. It's not quite right. Okay, there we go. So the door is about, what's wrong with the, oh, Okay, I understand. What was going on is I was looking over here to see. I was expecting the. There we go. No, no, no. Wait, what? Huh? It's still like that. Oh, the scale didn't get applied. Hmm. There we go. Finally. Okay. So I was expecting this to be like what the value is now, but it was like 0.8 because apparently I had a scale on like a scale. This mesh would this the object was scaled. Okay, so it should be about 2.25 meters tall. Let's make it 2.5. It says 1.5 here because part of it is like in the negatives and part of it's in the positives. It doesn't matter that much. I'm just trying to get like a consistent like a scale. All right. Now let's try and get the character actually animated properly. Well, he's animated, but I want to like, fix the animation better match up with what I want. Okay. So this first part is. Well, I should think about where the doorknob is going to be. Where is he? Okay. So I think the doorknob should be probably around here, like 1 meter off the ground. You know what? Let's model it in. I need to see it. I need to know where it is. How am I doing? What am I doing? Sorry, I had to check my phone there. So I got distracted. It is way too big. I just need to see where the doorknob is. Isn't going into the game. Just need to see where the knob is. That should be good. All right. Alrighty then. So I think on this frame is when he should be grabbing the doorknob. And his way up is up way too high. Move it down. Here. The reason I'm having him grab the doorknob with his left hand is because he's going to pull it to his right. All right, so clearly I need to alter the pose. Let's move this foot back. Move this foot forward. Move his hand out to for balance. Okay, so that's a bit of an awkward, that's a very awkward pose. Not in the sense that it's like suggestive or anything. It's not. It's just his his torso is like all contorted. Let's grab his shoulder. Right down. Take a look and see how the door is going to rotate. That. How's his foot? How's his left foot? Good? Okay. Just making sure. Just a little bit more. Let's have him look down at the doorknob. It's a little bit too direct. Let's do like this much. Influence 0.5. Excuse me. Actually, I might use this door model. It's already an improvement on the previous one. I kind of like how dynamic this pose is. All right, let's insert the keyframe. Okay, so he starts here, grabs the doorknob, and then nope, I do not want him to do that. I want him to pull the knob. Right, so let's move this back to the old spot. The idea now is that he's getting out of the way while the door swings open. Actually, no, it's well. Let me grabbing the wrong thing. Okay, so the door is kind of gonna be over here at this point. Let's put out a nice round number, like 45 degree, like a 45-degree angle. Just, oh, it's smashing through his face. Ah, SpongeBob, you broke my face. You want to see that episode? Handsome. Okay, so his hand should be on the knob still. But I think I need to move him back a little bit. Let's have him kind of look at the door. Maybe lean back a bit. Actually, let's twist his torso to the right a bit. I think this animation is actually going a bit too slow. I think I'm going to move the keyframes a bit closer together. Actually, let's delete these. Just to make it easier for myself, I'm going to add this to the animation, I think. Can I even do that? Can I add this to the animation? Actually, I don't think I can. Uh-oh. Oh, animate property. Okay. Okay. I gotcha. Oh, looks like I made... I put a keyframe on the wrong thing. Okay, so he... Uh-oh. Yeah, I shouldn't have done that. Well, well, You always learn something new every day, I guess. But yeah, I just learned that you don't do that. You don't do it that way. All right, so I need to put a separate animation for this door to represent it opening. Frame 12. Frame 25. It should be at 45 degrees, I think. All right, and then frame, I think, probably I think around this time he should let go of the doorknob and kind of let its momentum swing the door the rest of the way open. Just make a few adjustments here. Just shoulder down. Ooh, his elbow is kind of pointing a weird way. Right, maybe frame 32 will have. Actually, let's adjust this foot. Hold on. Let's keep his toe in the same spot. Kind of suggest that he's like shifting his weight. You know what? Get rid of all of this. Just making it hard to see what's supposed to happen next. Okay, so maybe frame 32, or maybe frame 35. We'll have the door be over here, 110 degrees. We'll change the interpolation type to, let's use a Bezier curve. Oh, okay. Cubic. Oh, it's going the wrong way. Is there a way to have like the inverse of this? Like have it go fast and then slow down? Okay, let's go back to what it was before. Easing mode, ease in. I can't tell. Oh well. In any case, let's figure out what his pose should be on this frame. Let's make it so that his maybe this frame. Okay, we just need to make it so that his hand isn't phasing through the table. I mean, not the table, the door. Why did I say table? That's a dumb mistake. Okay, maybe frame 28. Let's put his hand like out of the way. Let's twist his body a bit. Have him look maybe at the door still. his hand to make it a bit more dynamic. I think right away we can have him start walking through. Have him through maybe on frame 40. Let's copy all these frames here. Except have him on the other side. All right, that looks good. Now I just need to get his footwork ready or done properly. Okay, so he starts moving around here. Okay, let's try to keep this foot in the same spot. Hold on, hold on. Fix the rest of his body later. Just do it one step at a time. Make this the last step for this foot. Try it at least. It's a kind of a big step, I guess. Don't worry about his feet being too his legs being too straight. Like I said, I'll fix that later. I'm just working on getting the feet in the right spots before I work on anything else. Okay, so we got this kind of, well, it's not done yet, but we'll see what it looks like when I play it. Okay, so everything happening after here is happening a little bit fast. Let's spread it out a little bit. That's a bit better. Okay, so it's 52 frames long. Actually, that doesn't look bad. I just need to fix the. I like the way that his arms kind of slowly move into position. I just need to fix his torso. So it's too stiff looking right now. See how his legs are like way too straight. So maybe here, let's lower this. Actually, let's do that here. Twist his hips to kind of make the legs make more sense. Actually, on the last frame of this his foot being on the ground, let's lift his heel. And then lift his foot off the actual ground. Okay, let's actually play the animation. See how it looks. Oops. I think that's a major improvement. I don't know, what do you think? One thing I kind of want to do is I want to split the animation to two parts. One where he's opening the door and the other where he's letting the door close behind him. Let's see, it's probably a good split point. 35. Insert keyframe. Door. 1. Door L part 1. 2. So part 1. Oops. Sure, both of these are big users. So part 1 will be just the first half. Part 2 will be just the second half. Let's make another change. So we don't need this fake door anymore. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to... What is this? What is this? Not important. Button. Okay, so this is going to be at here. Oh, right. So, kind of hard to explain why I'm doing this, but it's to help manage the transition between one room and the other. So it's important in because there's a lot of scripts controlled by the actual, yeah, you know, it's not worth explaining. All right, anyways, it's about 6 o'clock. Actually, you know what? I'll try to explain. I don't want to leave you in the dark. But I might need some visual. All right. So all you really need to know is that the camera scripts, when dealing with multiple rooms, in the initial version of the animation, what I actually did is, so let's pretend this is the player, and then what am I doing? Pretend this rectangle is the player, um, and this is the door. So I'm going from oh, it again. So we want the player to go from here to over. Player to go from over here to over here. So there is actually two parts of the player. There's the actual player, and then there's like there's the animated part of the player. So here is a stick figure representing. How do I increase the thickness? I don't know how to do that. Oh, here. Here is a stick figure representing the player character's model. All right, so what technically happens when you open a door is the player actually like teleports to the other side, but we want to trick the player who's like actually playing the game into thinking that they like smoothly transition from over here to over here. And while opening the door, the player and the character model and the actual like player object aren't necessarily on center. The player object gets teleported to the other side at some point. And since the location of the player model is always going to be relative to the object, it needs to be off center sometimes. So when you first open the door, with the old system, what would happen is the frame you press the open door button, the player would go over here, and then I kind of wish I could do it a bit better. The character object or the player object would snap to the other side, taking the other one with it, all in the same frame, so you can't see it happening. And then the player character model, as the frames proceed, he would open the door, kind of saunter through. The problem with this is that the moment you press the door, the button that opens the door, the camera system would instantly go to like the other side because it would detect the player. It works by detecting the location of the player. Let's say there's camera A, camera B, and then it's like has like a zone of influence. Or there's like a trigger that triggers different cameras. This is most visible in the player's house where that has fixed cameras. By dividing the animation into two parts, I can make it so that instead of instead of the character teleport, teleport, teleport to the other side and then the character falling afterwards, what could happen is I can make it so that the player goes through partially, then the teleport happens. The camera system detects the players on the other side, halfway through the player coming through the door. And then the player continues walking through until he's back into the player object. I think I'm sorry if I'm not explaining it very well, but all you need to know is that by dividing the animation into two parts. Okay, so let's say the camera is over here. Player opens the door. So then the camera is over here. Player enters through and is on the other side. Makes sense? I think so. Sorry if that's not a very good explanation, but trust me, it makes sense. Anyways, I know it's now 6:05, which means that I can quit the stream. Have a good night. See you next time. I think I should be able to stream tomorrow. Tomorrow's Saturday, so unless something comes up, I would very likely be able to stream tomorrow. But I'm warning you ahead of time. On Monday and possibly a couple of days after that, I am very, very likely to have overtime. As a matter of fact, I was actually asked to come in on Saturday, but I told them no. It was one of those no pressure things where I don't have to take overtime, but well, they're behind. That's all you need to know. It's a manufacturing place that manufactures stuff, and they're behind. But they're not so behind that it's like urgent, but they want to catch up, and so they offered a overtime. And yesterday and the day before, I accepted it, which came at the cost of my ability to stream on those days. But today I was not offered. But that's only because it's Friday and they usually refrain from like asking for overtime on Fridays. But they did ask for me to come in tomorrow, but I declined. But on Monday I will probably be offered again, and I will probably accept if they make that offer. So just a heads up, I might not be able to stream on Monday. I might be able to, might not. Not exactly sure. Anyways, good night.